This is the Yost 10-inch wood vise. It's not an automatic. I bought this, I believe I bought this through Amazon, although sometimes you can get a better price directly from Yost. I'm really very pleased with this vise. It comes without the handle or the jaw, of course. I have this mounted. I had to slow down, I didn't want to hit the camera tripod. I have this mounted on, you can see what you're getting here. That's, turn the camera so you can see what you got. Big, really big meaty bolt that draws it in. If you look here, this is just a pilot hole, a pilot for when they tapped it. There's no hole in the end of these. So there's no stop on this when you come out. Very easy to do would be to just drill in there and put a nut and a washer on that if you wanted to. My jaw that I'm using is IPE. I just had it as some leftover decking material. It's extremely hard. And I put these captive nuts. I picked those up, I think I got them at Home Depot. And then that worked really well for the back side. And then just use some, I think it has some stainless screws that worked in there. And then you just tighten these up. You've got to kind of grip them, they clear, and then they just tighten up here. The handle was a 1-inch dowel, I think. And I think I found a piece I had laying around that was 1 inch. I just made these on the belt sander, you know, and drilled a hole appropriately with a, you know, with a big spade bit. Is that correct? I think. And then rounded them off, glued them on. It's 1 inch, but the hole in here is really pretty sloppy, and in fact, to do it over again, I probably would have gone up in size. If I could have gotten maybe a 1/16, you know, or even a 1 1/8 maybe, and then work the hole out in here. The inside of this hole had a lot of casting chips. Casting, you know, just rough like you see on the outside of any kind of a casting. So it really dug in to the handle. Well, I finally just ran some sandpaper through that on a dowel to knock those off. And, you know, then I didn't like how sloppy it was. Now I actually put a sleeve in there of cardboard. You know that shiny, that's cardboard you get. Maybe a power supply is packed in it with some piece of electronics. You get shiny white on one side and basic cardboard. Yeah, there's a piece. What you get, it's like regular rough cardboard on one side and shiny on the other side. Well, the shiny stuff really, I just kind of curled it around there and put it in. The shiny stuff stays in place because it goes against the cast iron, and the wood slides through really nice. So that's how I dealt with that. These pieces down here, they're a little tricky getting those centered perfectly, but when you install this, they should just slide in easily without binding. And this bolts to the bottom of my workbench. I have kind of a unique situation because, you know, I have drawers go underneath, so I wanted that to clear. This sits back. There's actually 2 2x4s to space this out, so I lose 3 inches of opening depth, which most people probably wouldn't want to do, but I wanted it in this circumstance, and I wanted it flush against my workbench, just kind of the way I wanted it. But it works really nice. go. Of course, it's not a speed open. There's no release and pull or push, but you know, pretty big jaws, so it works pretty good, pretty fast. I'll see if I can show you underneath what it looks like. So this is the underside mounting. I don't know if that helps you get an idea of how it works, but you can see the jaw here, my jaw board, and then there's 3 2/4 thickness here. This is, of course, the front of my bench, and then the 2 spacers, and then I think you can see how it's mounted underneath. Bolts on the bottom. So this is a 2 by thickness workbench, and so that should give you a pretty good idea of how it works. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope maybe this will at least help you either in deciding to buy one or not, or in how do you install it.